Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elias and welcome back to Regrowth. In the last episode, we were working with witchery. I do believe we were. I'm making stuff down below. We were doing some stuff with witchery, I do believe. And yeah, today we are going to step away from magic and go back to machines. Namely, I want to start working on getting some stuff done. We are going to be automating some stuff today, and between episodes, I actually just got finished. I crashed a couple times, but I cleaned up all of this stuff. For whatever reason, the compartments like to crash on me, but that's not too much of an issue. It's not that big of a deal anyways. So yeah, let's go ahead and today the big thing that I want to work on is we're going to start automating all of these guys. I want to automate all of these guys just so that we can have more stuff going on. Now let's get this guy to wrench mode. We're gonna wrench that, and honestly we're gonna move that and all of these guys. Cool. So we're gonna lose some water with this. Oh well. Power, that kind of stuff, but most of this stuff doesn't really matter. So let's just pick up all these guys. These guys will keep their inventories, won't they? Yes, they will. Alright, and we'll pick up these guys. And he'll lose his recipe as well, but that's fine. So, much cleaner over here. Don't even need that torch. So, we're gonna have an area over here for power. I'll probably flip-flop this around. We'll worry about that another time. Now, this guy is also gonna be replaced. Actually, probably not. We'll probably keep this guy where he is. But I don't really care about most of these water tanks. So what we're going to do is we're going to break them. We're going to break these guys. And we're just going to put this right here. And we're going to have a basic mechanical pipe like so. And I want to configure this fluids. And that'll work just fine. Cool. So all that aside, that all works just fine. Now what I want to do, and eventually I'm going to replace this and just hook it into the side of this guy. That'll be easy enough. So what I want to do, so one, we're going to be automating this guy. I found out that you can actually automate the assembly table. It's not actually that difficult. But we're going to have to do some fancy stuff with that. These integration tables and programming tables we're gonna move because they're not that important to me right now, but we're gonna want to put these like here. Actually, we'll put them like really close, so like here, and on the other side basically the same place. Just right here. And then we're gonna have to make another assembly table in order to get the redstone chipsets and then all of these guys. I'm not gonna worry about the pipe wires and all this, the basic gates and all that kind of stuff, because it's actually not that important at this point anyways. So what we're gonna do is we are going to now this is the hard part. This is the part where I have to decide what it is I'm going to be doing. Because originally I thought we'd have machines over here. I don't know if that's the case. That's going to be the best case scenario for this. What we could do, so that goes up to Autocrafting. We could put Autocrafting on this line. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. And this is on that line, and then that's going to also go that direction. And honestly, I can hook these guys up to this line, no problem. I think what I want to do, I'm going to move this like so, we're gonna need some dense cables. So let's go get those first of all, and then we'll start working on all this other stuff. So we want some dense cables, and basically what that's gonna allow us to do is it's gonna allow us to make a lot of stuff. So one thing I just did was I made 5 more molecular assemblers. Now I'm also gonna want to make a bunch of interfaces, like I don't know, 20. I'm missing glass, I'm missing golden chipsets, I'm missing golden electron tubes, and fluix dust and nether quartz. Nether quartz is something we can teach it. Nether quartz can be made from nether ore, and we can teach the system that, no problem. But the problem is we don't have enough interfaces down below to deal with this. So can we make, let's make 5. We're missing a little bit of fluix dust. So fluix dust, we're missing 3, I do believe. So let's get a crushing factory. We'll just hook this straight into power right here, and it keeps the inventories auto sort on. That'll take it a moment, but we'll get our stuff that we need, and everything will be fine. So, you know, we don't need these fluid tanks. Let's put these over here. What's this guy? Empty. So let's take the empty one, and we're gonna put water here. And honestly, we're gonna pick up these guys because we don't need them down here anymore. I don't really care if they had anything in them or anything. It does not matter to me. So we'll take our 3 fluix. Let's get this back to wrench, and we're gonna move all the stuff up here. Let's put that in there. That stuff can go away. That can go away. And we can make, what was it, 5 interfaces? That's a good start. So, alright, we need universal cables. Many as we can get. We're going to need some other stuff, but the cables are going to be the most important, and I can always upgrade more. So, what we're going to need is we're going to need dense cables. So, dense cables are made from covered cables, which are just normal cables with a little bit of wool. So can I teach this system wool? I probably could, but right now we don't need to. So let's get covered cables. You can make 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make 8, 7, 8. And then what we can do is we can use those to make dense cables. Now dense cables are pretty expensive, but what they will allow us to do is transfer more channels with our AE network than these normal cables. So these normal cables can transfer 8. That's it. No more, no less. Only 8. But the dense cables can transfer all 32 that these output sides can give. So what we're going to want to do, and I'm trying to think. 32 channels, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 times 8. We're gonna do something kind of strange. We're gonna pull this down, and we're gonna move these. So I need more inventory space. Or we get more interfaces. Hopefully it was done with the interfaces. So let's grab another cable or 2. And what we'll do is we'll just pull, eventually this will all be 32. And we'll do 4 little things like this. And all I need is an interface, and I should be able to take care of this. A little bit of lag spikes. I don't know why, but it is laggy a little bit. So we have 5 interfaces. That is good for right now. We can't autocraft anything because our autocrafting is kind of disabled right now. So, we will get something like this. Oh wow, it's not actually too dark. So that guy with 1, 2, 3. Let's do something like this, and we'll put a torch on top of this guy, and we can put interface on both sides. And so there's 4. I'm gonna do another 4, probably in the corners, which means we can move this guy up and honestly save one of these guys and do this. So this is just going to be, eventually we'll replace this with the dense cables, and we'll do 16 on each side. And then eventually we could potentially even do 32, depending on if we bring controllers down. We could just have a bunch of channels to basically have all the stuff we want. So let's take this last molecular assembler, put it here. We'll take this stuff out and just put it in here. And do that with all the stuff we can. We're gonna have so many more like so much more space for all of the different things we could ever want, and it'll be good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And this is connected to our network. Should not be a problem. We can pick up these guys, pick up this. I'm going to go ahead and place that there. We'll need 2 more molecular assemblers, but that won't be too much of an issue. We can worry about that later. So we'll do, I might just do the entire thing here, and then if I ever need more, I can put them here. I think that'll be what we'll do. So we'll actually just dense cable this, and we can take it through the entire thing, and it should be fine. In fact, we don't actually need this. We could do more interfaces. We could do an interface here and do 4, 5, 4, 5. But I don't know if that would work out numbers wise. So it's just something I have to think about. So one of the things I want to do right now, because I want to kind of conserve cables, let's disable that. We'll put that there. And those will transfer channels around, so these will all still be active, and everything will still be good. So there's that. We'll use that for more stuff later, and then this line is going to be primarily for more interfaces, and then the ME drives, which I honestly need to get another one up and running. So let's come over to about here, and this is where we're going to start. You know what? Let's do the machines like along here. So let's move this guy to like right underneath the stairs. Let's move it to like right here. That'd be good. And the bloomery furnace we don't actually need. We don't need the blacksmith anvil either. Wow, this has a really high durability. So we can go put that stuff away. And we can start teaching our system how to make a little bit more stuff. Now one thing I'm going to want is more ME glass cable. Can we make like 10 of that? We can. Relatively easily. So put that away, we'll put that away, put that stuff away for now. And here's what we're going to be doing. So we are going to be setting up Mekanism, and we'll just put it like right here. So I have 3 interfaces right now. We'll have 1, 2, 3. Now this is because we're going to need to run power, we're going to need to run items out, basically we need a lot of stuff. So we have crushing factory, enriching factory, and smelting factory. So crushing, smelting, enriching. Enriching is good for ores, I do believe, and we want all of these to be on auto sort. And what we're going to do is we're going to need to run power for one. Can I run power in the front? I can. Awesome. That is good. So we'll run power for these guys in the front. Items in the back. Actually, we can put them right next to each other. We should be able to. I'm trying to think if there's any reason why we can't. If we can run power in the front. I don't think there is. So let's pick all these guys up. I don't know why I picked the one up because I didn't need to. We can do this. We can run power lines like this. And just run power down. I guess it's actually right here. And enriching and crushing. Now what we need to do is we need to connect this to up here. And we can only do so many channels. That's the only problem. So we have 4 channels on this guy. 5 channels, because there's 2 here. So there's 5 channels here. If we had smart cable, we could see that. So we can only do 3 more machines on here. So we can't do all of the metallurgic infusers. So we need to either make all of this dense cable, which we could. That might not be a bad idea. Let's teach the system how to make dense cable. So dense cable is cover cable. And then we can teach wool. I just want white wool, and I think the easiest way is going to be string. And then we can teach string, which will be relatively easy. And then we can teach dense cable once we have some of the other cables. So this will basically allow us to make covered cable. And the neat thing about this is it's completely and utterly automated. So dense cable is made like so. And we just put that in there. And we're good. So the only thing that we have to worry about now is glowstone and redstone. So let's also teach the system how to make that. Glowstone is it like this? Yeah. Glowstone, and then redstone is like so. So we teach this stuff as well, and everything is good. Where is the nether quartz? I swore I had that down there. Is one of these not online? Is it in one of these guys? I swear I made the nether quartz. I don't have it on me, so that's odd. Up right there it is. So I put it in the system instead of in the terminals themselves. So let's just put that there. And now we can tell the system to make, I don't know, maybe 20 dense cable. Now we're going to be missing some glass, so let's teach that. First thing we need to teach is sand. We need to teach the system how to make sand, and sand is really easy. Next, we do the crafting pattern that 1 sand equals 1 piece of glass. Now that one we're going to take down with us. So sand can go right here, why not? Now we also need some, not universal cables, we need some mechanical. Is it mechanical? No, it is, what are the elite logistical transporters? We don't have many of these, but that's okay. We don't need many right now. All we have to do is come down here and say, alright, so smelting factory. We want auto sort on transporter configuration. So input out the back. Wait, no, not transporter. Side configure. So auto eject on. We want input in the back, output on the top, and energy in the front. So this should work. If we put this here and we configure, this is still in wrench mode. So let's get this out of wrench mode and to configure items. And we'll pull it. And basically, we're going to do something similar for all of these guys, except for they only need to extract to 1. So we'll say side configure top. We want auto eject on, input in the back, energy in the front, output out the top. I believe is how we want it. I'm thinking that green is what we want, and then auto sort on, and something similar for this guy as well. So output out the top, input in the back, energy, auto eject on. So that should work just fine. So let's see if that does. If we can make dense cable now, I believe that'll work just fine. So dense cable 20. We have everything. We should be able to come down here, and it's working. So I'm going to throw in a stack because it's a little bit more than what the system wants, but what we should see is glass going into the system. Perfect. Ah, that's exciting. And it's crafting stuff there. Ah, I love this. I love automation with applied energistics. So now we should have, we're going to start getting dense cables. So let's set up the rest of the stuff. Now, the rolling machine is not something we can automate. So we're going to set the rolling machine in here. Let's do that, and I want to put cable here, like so. So rolling machine is not automatable. The osmium compressor, we don't need to automate either. Actually, let's break this. And is there anything else? We have 4 of those. We're going to need more of these guys, but we'll get those later. I honestly will probably have a normal smelter here as well. So we'll just break that stuff and we'll hook those up. But honestly, I need more cables. So something like this. And my question is, there's got to be a way to hide these. I know that Buildcraft has facades. I don't know if those would work with Mekanism or not. That is a legitimate question that I'm not entirely sure. I do believe we have some facades. We can check to see if it would work. So we have cable facades from Applied Energistic. Covers are what they're called. I know we have glowstone, so let's see if a glowstone cover would work, which we can just kind of test it over here. Doesn't really matter. So if I put this guy here, my question is, does it connect through? There should be something we should be able to see from down here. No. So if we break that, it connects. Now can we do covers like this? I don't know. These are the questions I have. No, we can't even place that on there. Okay, so no covers, so we'll have to go around. That's fine. Um, let's actually turn all of these into panels, covers, whatever. So the next thing I want to look at is if we want to make, I don't know, 20 more interfaces, we're going to need a couple more things. So Fluix dust is something else that we're going to need. So Fluix dust can be made from a Fluix crystal and that. And we also want to teach it Certus quartz dust, even though I have a ton of it now. It would be good to teach those both. And they go, I need to go down and actually put these in there because I don't know which one's which. And then eventually, so enriching factory, crushing factory, this one. This is the guy that gets them. So eventually we're going to have these completely automated. Now one last thing, we're going to want a bunch of cable, of the ME glass cable as well. So let's, do we have the dense cable? We do. So we can take this and go along. And now there's one other cable I want to go ahead and make and teach the system how to make, and that is smart cable. Smart cabling is a little bit easier. It's basically the dense cable without four. It's just a single dense. It's a fourth of a dense cable. But basically what it does is allows us to actively see what the system is doing. So smart cable, I'll explain. It's easier to explain once I have... Why is it taking so long? Okay, I think something messed up over here. Or was it taking a while for the did I need charged Certus quartz? That might be it. Let's see if it fixed itself or if it's still struggling. Nope. Okay, it fixed. So I was charging Certus quartz. So smart cable, what this stuff allows us to do is it will give us a little bit more control. And I only want like 10 of these. 10 is fine. So let's just grab one for now, and I can show off what these do. And what we're going to want to do is we want to break this guy. And not there. Onto that. And then now we can see that this line has 4 channels. Now this line I know only has 2 channels, and I'll probably add a little bit more of that stuff, but what we can do is let's replace these 2. I realized I just turned off the auto-crafting. Hopefully it will fix itself. Let's take the dense cable, like so, and then we're going to take the regular cable. We're going to go out this way, and follow this path later. Yeah, that'll be good. And then we're also going to want dense cable here going this way. And it looks like we have plenty to go this way. And honestly, like, dense cable is expensive, but all of this is renewable. There's nothing that, like, the recipe for this requires glowstone, redstone, which we have plenty of. It's renewable. Covered ME cables, which, again, wool is renewable. And then the actual glass cables are renewable because Fluix crystals are renewable. And the quartz fiber is renewable. So nothing is actually costing us anything, really. So let's just do a big line of dense cable, and that'll work. And then we're gonna do, I guess I ran out. Oh well, that doesn't hurt anything. So now we can see that this is using 5 channels out of 32. That is... Channel management is the hardest thing with applied energistics, but we should have our smart cables. We have extra of those, and I'm going to want like, I don't know, let's get like 100 of these. We're going to want them later. We're going to want them for more of these guys, which is going to be something that we're going to want very soon. So what's it making? Flux crystals. So it's making a lot of flux crystals. It's crafting charge service. So that's going to take a little bit, but that's fine. While that is working, we're going to get our first couple of things set up. So we have the factories. These will work just fine. And honestly, we're going to... I'm trying to think if there's any other factories we need. If we look at Mekanism, I don't know that there's really anything else that we're going to need a lot of stuff for. So let's just actually look up factory. So smelting, and then I guess the other ones don't list, but they are the enriching and crushing. So we're gonna need 4 carpenters and 4 of these guys, and we're gonna need 3 thermionic fabricators. So let's put these here, and we're gonna need more interfaces. And then what we can do is we'll just we can do 7 and 7. Do 4 here. I think that'll work. So we'll do obsidian. Nope, that's the last one. And let's turn this to wrench mode. Now, I'm a little worried about dealing with inventory, yes, inventory, no. I wish it told me what kind it was. So this was the obsidian. Oh, it's empty now. This one is diamond, that's fine. Redstone, redstone, and this one's empty. It was coal, or carbon rather. So we'll do this. We can put these like so, and then 4 more here. That'll be 8. Well, that would be 7 rather, and then we can have our carpenters here as well, with all of the different interfaces and all that kind of fun stuff. Now there's one other thing we're going to need, and that's an electric pump. We will deal with that later. For right now, we need 2 interfaces. 2 interfaces will be good enough for right now. So let's make 2 of these. And as you can see, we can make all of it. No problem. So let's get the ME glass cable. Let's get a stack of it. That'll be good for now. And I think what I want to do next is I want to take this line to the wall. Like I've said before, we're going to send out inventories to all of the other stuff later, but honestly right now this is what's important. And let's throw a smart cable right here, just so we can see what's being used. Now, first of all, we're going to drop a line right here. Actually, right here. And I'm trying to think. If we put interface here, and this guy here, I think this will work. And then all of this stuff, to be perfectly honest, is going to be taken into the AE system. Now we need a second assembly table. Now how bad was it to make the assembly tables? They were not terrible. We need a diamond gear. Let's see let's see what all we have for the assembly table in here already. And we also need the interfaces. So assembly table, what can we make? We have everything but the mana diamond and the diamond infused gear. Alright, so let's get the gear. Do this. There's stone. And then stone to iron. To gold. To diamond. And then the diamond, the mana diamond. Which I might actually have already. If not, it's not an issue. I have. Okay. So we'll come back and we'll get that, the secondary assembly table crafted. So that is that. We can put this stuff away. And what we're going to do is we're going to teach this a couple of different things. So I don't know if we need the chest yet. We'll figure that out in a moment. So if we put an interface here, and we need redstone and gold, diamonds. We'll set up a lot of this stuff as we go, but we're going to need redstone and gold to begin with. And gold is one of those that we're going to kind of set up how to make. But this is a processing pattern. We're going to do this. Comes from these two. And I want to see if this will work. So presumably this will push the inventory in here. And if we set these guys, we can teach it that is a thing. Now, what I believe, if what I've read is true, and this is the only thing that I'm not entirely sure about, is, so if we do redstone in here, click it, and now it remembers it. So it'll remember this for forever, basically. And now we should be able to tell our system that that is also a recipe. And I guess that one is not actually connected to anything. I want to see, let's take the chest away and see if it recognizes that it can place things in here. Otherwise, a logistical sorter would work, but I want to make sure that these will work. So let's teach it how to make a single redstone or golden chip set. So let's do two. Sure, why not? So did that work? It looks like it did. Now, obviously, I can't make both of these at the same time. We will increase the number of lasers we have and all that fun stuff as we go. But these chipsets aren't super expensive. And it should never try to make the redstone chipset. But it has the materials for the golden chipset, it will make it. That's why we need two. Because if this received redstone and gold, there's a chance it could make the redstone chipset, and then it would never complete the crafting thing. And I think that just went straight back into this guy. So that's all we need to do. We can do that, and we're good. So this guy we can teach diamond, quartz, and all that fun stuff. I will do that off camera. And we need a couple more interfaces. So we're going to need 20 more interfaces. Can we do that? No, we're missing the golden electron tubes. So let's get one, and let's teach it that. We're missing 2 golden electron tubes. Alright, so we need more redstone. So we got that. I will keep these on me so I know to go make them. And this is the thing that actually has me a little worried. Not necessarily working with the one thing, but actually dealing with its configuration. Because I'm not entirely sure how the thermionic fabricator is going to work. And that's worrisome. So we need something like this and this. And we can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2. Now this is going to be something that's going to drain power constantly. And it just is kind of the way it's going to have to work. So we also need, I think sand will be just fine with this. So we could teach it to make glass, but I think sand will give us 2 recipes worth. Yes. So what we need to do is we need to basically have this stocked full of sand. Let's put those in there. We want to make a single interface and potentially learn how to make this. So the carpenters aren't important in this episode. It's the other guys that are. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do processing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 of these will give you 1, 2, 3, 4. And then as soon as we have the interface, which shouldn't be too long, it looks like it is crafting the logic processor and the fluix crystals, the the dust. We'll speed a lot of this stuff up as we go. That's the biggest thing. Is we'll want the highest factories. They can do 7 items at a time versus the 3 that we're currently at. But we're also going to want speed and energy upgrades. But I think next time what we're going to do is a mixture of finishing this guy up, just a little bit of crafting, getting more interfaces for these guys and all that kind of stuff. And then also getting other stuff taken care of. I want to get power situated permanently. So here is the question. So what we can do is we can put this here, and we can tell this to keep 4 sand in there. Now it doesn't look like it's working. Not how it's supposed to. So what I need to figure out is what sides accept what items. And what we can do is let's go request the golden electron tubes. Golden electron tube. Let's request one of those. So it should send the items down, and I want to see if the items go in. The items went in, so I just need to get the sand to go in as well. So we can try this side, and I want to configure 8 items. So alright, sand is going in. Awesome. So it is this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this. We need more logistical transporters. We are going to probably... We're going to drop this down to the side. And I realize that we need... what to do. I think so. That tells me that these need to be back 1. Have it push into the side or something. I've got to think about this. So it can push the items in. It just needs to put the sand in the side. Now this is going to use a little bit of power kind of constantly. That's okay. So I'll have to decide how I want this, but basically what we can do to kind of complete the crafting is we'll do this, and there we go. So I don't know why that's not going in. but oh, because it's not hooked up to anything. Derp. So for the time being, I will clean this up a little bit later and kind of make this nicer. But what I'll have to do is I'll need to make 2 more thermionic fabricators, one for the quartz, one for the diamond. Thermionic fabricators are not difficult. They require a chest of some sort, sturdy casing, which is just some bronze in the rolling machine, and some gold. Easy enough. And can we actually just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Cool. I will also make more of these cables. And the neat thing is, once I get all the interfaces set up, we'll be able to make those constantly. And here's the thing, is I can come up here, and I'm going to need, let's see, 1, 2, 5, 9. I need 10 more interfaces, I do believe. I can just request it, and it's going to make it. So that's all I have to do. I can throw this stuff back in here, and I'll have all the interfaces, and then I can hook up all of the other machines, and we'll be good to go. So these are also going to have something a little bit different as well. They're going to need the extra will also need to be placed into these. And the problem is they can only accept one thing per side. So I have 2 options. I can either run. I'll have to think about that. I can either run cable underneath, which is not unreasonable, and have maybe output on the bottom for these guys, these 4. Now there is water underneath there, but that's not that big of a deal. Or I can, yeah, I'll probably do that. I'll just probably make output on the bottom coming into the side of this guy or something like that, and input on the top. No, input in the back, extra on the top, and they'll need something special for that as well. These guys will get them as well, the thermionic fabricators, but we'll worry about that when we get there. These guys should be pretty easy. They are going to need water, which will also pump through the bottom. That shouldn't be a problem either. So just some minor things that we're gonna have to do, but this will be our entire automation setup, and then all I have to do is come over here and upgrade the machines when I want them. Now the metallurgic infusers can also be upgraded to factories, so but they still only do 1 of each type. So we're still gonna want 4 for each of the different stuff, but we'll get there later. Anyways, I'm more happy that that's working just the way I want it, so we can potentially, once we get, so we have 1 interface. I'm going to kind of show off what I'm going to do, and honestly the carbon is one I want to automate basically immediately. Now where is going to be the best, if I do output off the bottom, that's going to be the easiest. So do I have any more logistical transporters? I don't think I do. I have 5. Alright, so I think what we'll do is logistical transporters. Can I make any more of those? Do I have anything out here? Any more circuit boards? No? Okay. That's a bummer. Can I make any more circuit boards real quick? Because if I can make the logistical transporters. Honestly, I need to teach logistical transporters. And the easiest thing is we teach that. We'll take one of those. We'll teach that. We need more blank patterns. Can I make 20 of those? I sure can. God, this is so nice. No crafting CPUs. Oh, because it's still making 1 more interface. Did it get stuck or something? No. Okay. So we have all the interfaces now. So logistical. So we have that. We can teach that later. I think I just need a piece of iron for that. And let's see, iron in here should give me the one thing. And yeah, like I said, once we get these up to factories and then just kind of increase them from there, it's going to be so much nicer. But being able to make the logistical transporters is really nice. And you know what? I think what I'm going to do is let's set up this recipe. Do we have the blank patterns? We don't. We do. We never made them. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and call the episode here. I know, I'm kind of in the middle of something, but what I'm going to do is we're going to take all of these interfaces. I'm going to go ahead and make some more stuff as we need it. I wonder if I can put it in the bottom of these guys as well. If I can put sand, that might be something I experiment with. If I can put sand in the bottom of those, then that will make my life a lot easier. And as you can see, we have 9. If I had more smart cable on me right now, I could check the other guy, but I don't. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of draw everything to one, all the outputs to one guy, and it will probably not be this one, it will probably be this one. It'll just be easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this like here. So I just need to figure out how to get sand to these guys and get more logistical transporters. So that is what I'll do. I'll get all the other machines as well, and next time we will kind of continue on with all this. So yeah, this is working out quite nicely. All we need to do is set up more automation, and then we're gonna get more of these guys and put them over here. I'll have 4 more of these with a couple more co-processors. I think that'll be good. And we'll get some more in my ME drives. We'll just do a line either down or across. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But that is going to be the plans. We got a lot done today. So more automation means things can be quicker later. And that is pretty much everything I want. So let's replace that. And let's actually replace this guy completely. And like I said, I will figure out how to get sand into the thermionic fabricators, and we'll go from there. So that is 7 out of 8. This should be 7 out of 8. And we should have plenty of channels here. Because this should only have 2. And we should be good to go. So I'm going to get some work done, and we will come back, finish up our automation, and start working on power, getting that stabilized, and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!